Top right hand side, our blue Zerg player from Basilisk. It is Serral. He got cheesed the crap out of the series the other day in a game of Z by the Zerg in the bottom left from Onside Gaming Solar. Let's see what will happen this time around. As we get this up and running. And Solar do what he needs to. Find a win against Serral. When it matters most for his team. Altitude, big map. It's going to be hatchery first from both. No one's going to try and be sneaky or cheeky here to start us out, or anything along those lines. That's obviously good news. We kind of like a more honest game, don't we? Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. Well, the game is pretty just similar for the moment. Nothing too much really happening here, so just kind of chilling out a little bit. So we get up and rolling for the moment. Get things set, get things steady. I think speed will start from both players. It's going to be a mirrored build order here on altitude for the moment, so getting that up and running. See when the differences start to come in from either side. We'll see if one player is going to try and diverge away from the other. What the plan might become. And that's done pretty much the same time though. For the moment, everything seems to be pretty similar for the moment. So it's still coming up. You're going to see our Ling's on the way. Bane Nest is coming up as well. I'm just going to be seeing our hatchery coming through. The Ling's going to chase around another couple Lings for the moment. This really does become a pretty, well, like I say, a similar game from both so far, but now maybe the chance to change it up as some Banelings will get morphed. We'll start to see some of these early game trades and see where they might be headed to. Lots of Lings on the way from Solar here. Is Serral's a few drones ahead already, so that might be a little advantage you can build on. There's a little bit of Ling Bane so far, not doing much. There's a couple of Banes of Solar already morphed across the map. We'll keep my eyes on those on the mini-map, but let's see if our observer picks up on them as well. If they do move forward to do anything too intriguing. There's obviously some potential there for something exciting to maybe break out. Well, they are going to make a move. Actually, just going to basically join up with the rest of the Lings of Solar, so they can just come in here and then help, but I think with the Queens here, it's just a little bit too good defensively for Serral. I don't think Solar will be pushing through. And that's obviously a little bit rough because you can see that Serral is up a bunch of drones, so Solar playing a little bit of catch-up right now. Serral has typically just taken a better lead here throughout these early stages. And put himself in a little bit of a stronger spot to start things out in. Well, Queens come through, a couple of Banes going down. So you see now Overlord still chilling at the front as well, trying to see what we can get up to. But the creep will still go moving forward. He's come over and just going to head in towards that main base. And he goes straight after a few of those drones. The drone's already going to take some damage. Skilling's going to try and come through as well, try and get a little bit done also. And as the Baneling's going to try and find even more of those workers as they get pushed away over to the side. So a lot of workers starting to go down. 9 drones went down from Serral, so he's actually going to take a lot of damage there. And he only found 3 drones himself, which means that Solar actually has a worker lead coming out of this. Solar also has a nice fast left, finishing up. A bunch of extractors being taken. I think Solar might make a dive towards Mutalisks here. Get a Spire up and just try and get into that, especially with now a worker lead. That would be amazing if he could get there. There's the Spire. That's going to be his plan. He's going to try and get to Mutas. On a big map like Altitude, Mutas can be absolutely devastating to play against, so this could be a huge play from Solar. This could be a huge choice from him as we get this set up and rolling. See if he can make it work. Serral just continuing into +1 missiles, heading into roach speed. 9 more drones. Currently on the way up. There's a roach just going to come out from the natural expansion. Solar. You see, just going to get scouted here. So Serral is going to get a spot on the Spire. He's going to know that it's moved to Mutas. Now it kind of becomes a question of how much do you commit to it then as Solar. You don't have to go all out on Mutas. Maybe you could just go... He's already built a melee upgrade, so maybe he does. Maybe he really is committed just that much already. If he was going missiles, you could just make like 8 Mutas and harass, and then obviously go roaches behind it. But you know, with the melee upgrade, you're kind of committed to playing kind of Mutaling, Bane. I mean, it's still not bad considering the map. It is Altitude. It's a massive map. You can take a ton of map control, deny bases, take bases yourself. These are all things that are going to work out very well for you typically, so it's usually part of the plan. Obviously, just chilling out over on the edge. Just coming back through, clearing up a little bit. An overload here and there. Obviously, Solar can start to take some map control. He's going to keep building Mutas. Already seen Hydras on the way from Serral again. That scout giving him plenty of heads up to be able to prepare against this. Feelings, Roaches is going to go over towards those rocks, knock those down, knock down the watchtower, hopefully. Let's do have units just going to go straight onto these rocks, open up this gold base a little. I'm just going to be seeing how Hydras are pressing out. Well, I mean, to be fair, Solar, one of his advantages he should be able to take is map control, and taking a gold base, for example, is the sort of thing he might just be able to get away with these Mutas. Even if these Mutas don't do too much beyond that, it's still not a bad way to get set up, as I'm just find a few drones now, though, so a little bit of an opportunity gained. He's firing up. Gonna see the Muta's gonna get a couple shots on some roaches. We're gonna see these roaches gonna get turned around and pushed away as well, so they're gonna get chased straight out of here. On Queen in the main. Gets knocked down. Now the roach Hydra still just pushing through. I'm actually gonna go and get this hatchery right now. Hatchery will fall. Well, that's a big push from Serral. Solar supply is struggling, but he does have a lot of high Mutas, and he's going to have Banes. Soon with Bane's speed, if he can get his Banes onto the Hydras, and then he can just overwhelm with Mutas, there is going to be a chance, right? He's actually just going to target the Mutas straight away at these Mutas as well, so in he goes. Hydra's chasing down the Mutas chasing down the Hydralisks, and he does get most of them, so now the Mutas might be able to clean up here. Let's see if it's enough for Solar to hold on. Serral's supply lead is dipping. It was much more pronounced beforehand. Obviously, he's going to try and do as much damage as possible here before he gets forced to properly turn away and back it up, though. He's come through, still chasing these last few roaches. Ideally, they don't do too much else. Solar's behind on workers a little bit. He will still have the Mutas. I mean, here's a problem now for Serral. If the Mutas can be in good enough numbers, they should be able to go across the map and punish the fact that the Hydra count got completely reset. And then Serral might be in some trouble in that regard. So that could be a possible problem. As the Mutas play a little bit of cleanup here. Again, a little bit, a couple of units here and there. Just going to be seeing our Mutas back out in the center. Hydra still gathering. Getting set together. Drones coming back out onto the map. It's a lot of Hydras. Maybe it's not actually possible to counterattack with these mutas as much as Solar was hoping for. He's going to get pushed back around. Again, that was a pretty decent chunk of mutas altogether there, so can't really go dive into that. He'll have more banelings soon, though, and if this is purely Hydras, because that's what Serral is terrified of, dying to. He's terrified of dying to the Mutalisks. Maybe the Banes with speed can actually do well. It's obviously on creep as well, because his opponent has creep spread. The Banes are going to find a lot of Hydras to start out. Is there will? These mutas are going to be enough. The Hydras are dropping. Serral is not cleaning the Hydras up. He only has 4 in production as well. Ling's counterattack, and Solar's still losing workers, but Solar is on a supply lead for the first time in a little while. Not sure the Spore Crawl is something you want to fight. Every muta feels pretty valuable as we're building 4 mutas to 6 Hydras in production. So I was trying to go for an infestation pit, but I think at this stage we're not really in a position to do anything too meaningful with that, so I don't feel like that's going to develop into much. Serral will lose a forward base of his own, so his 4th goes down. Attacking across the map, these roaches will only last so long, however. The mutas and lings will eventually clean this up. Of course, this is all buying time for Serral to get even more Hydras on the map once again. And as soon as these roaches are down, I think Solar has to go and try and reset the Hydra count once more. We're going to try and get a couple of infestors out. So time really is ticking here for Solar. The longer he waits, the better it gets for Serral with infestors, with more Hydras. Kind of has to go, go, go. Sooner rather than later. The mutas and everything coming around. Mutas come over. Spore's going to get knocked down straight away. A couple of Bane's going to roll up. They're going to crash into a bunch of these Hydras. Is there enough Hydras? I actually don't think it is. The mutas right now are looking pretty good. There's 4 Hydras back on this right side. Mutas turn onto them. That's the last anti-air. There's 9 Hydras on the way up, but they're not going to come out in time. Solar is going to get Serral to type GG. Serral was up in supplies, he GG's, but it is a moment, right? It's that kind of moment in the game where you just know. Like, as Hydras spawn, they're going to get picked off, and so... Number 2. And Serral's map pick will be Grezvan to battle some ZvZ on. Why didn't Serral build a few more spores? Because he was playing the kind of counter-attacking game where he was really focused on kind of keeping Solar at home more so. If he built more spores, he wouldn't have had the money to build as many Hydras because he's putting minerals into spores, and it's kind of a choice you're making, right? And obviously the whole idea is if you build a bunch of spores, you can't have spores everywhere, then you would have had to give up a base much sooner as well, and it has that kind of knock-on effect, right? So it's very easy to say build a few more spores. And if Serral was playing a much more defensive game where he just sits there and defends, I think he would have done. He was just never setting up to play that kind of a game, unfortunately. Which may have been his mistake. Hatchery on both sides of the map. No pool first on this one. Of course, Serral was a little behind as well. When he lost those 9 drones, it definitely put Solar in a bit of an eco lead, and it felt like Solar was able to keep a hold of that for the majority. Buffalo's gonna come past each other by for a couple of moments here, get this set up, and see what is going to happen. Is we do have had to get some cool finishing on both sides of the map for a couple moments. Wolfie's still coming down to see what will happen. A little bit of information here as well. Ling's is going to come across. And again, Ling speed coming up on both sides as we get this up and rolling. Again, just a similar open on both sides. Both players will take a 3rd base. Last game started out pretty mirrored as well, of course. The Ling's coming through. The hatchery going to take just a little bit of damage. Failing nest on both sides. Still both players playing this pretty similarly for the moment. Of course, in ZvZ, you can mirror each other, mirror each other, mirror each other, and then boom, all of a sudden everything changes. Everyone's going, you know, one player decides to all in while the other's trying to macro up. You could say things can change at a moment's notice, as we do see 12 Lings. Ling speed on both sides. A few more Lings on the side of Serral than it is for Solar. Solar already has a couple more drones though, so maybe overall this is going to just even out. Very minor differences across the board, it seems. Well, Queen's coming across, a couple of Banes coming through. Ling's looking at each other, trying to figure out what their plan might be. Ling escapes away around the back of this main base. Going to start going in after the drone for the moment. And he's actually going to be able to grab that as the other couple Lings come through and clean up a little bit as well. A little bit of back and forth now with the Ling Bane, but both players are going to drop a Roach Roaring down. Both players are going to send this into the next step of the game. A few more drones on the way up from Solar, still just playing a little bit of catch-up there in comparison to his opponents, so we'll continue with that. We're going to drop an Evo Chamber and the Lair from Solar, actually. So Solar getting set up with a little bit of everything. As Serral is not getting all of that tech on the way. He instantly builds 7 Roaches. Is there some aggressive plan here from Serral, or what is this going to be? Still no Roaches on the way from Solar. As Serral's going to drone a little bit, so it doesn't seem overly aggressive, but if Solar just gets away with building, you know, the Lair and the Evo Chamber and everything else, then well, so he can do pretty well. He sees the no Lair, so he instantly starts to spine crawl. So Solar recognizes just what's going on here, or what he thinks is going on. Like I say, there are some drones from Serral, and he is pushing to some extent, but how much of a commitment is this truly going to be? If he doesn't do anything, Solar's going to get away with all of this, you know, fast attack. I don't know what he's going to do, because the Roaches are going to be there. Solar just basically did everything faster than Serral, and Serral's going to have no advantage to have shown for doing things more slowly. I feel like Serral's going to put himself in a very difficult position already, and Solar is already up a game. Serral cannot really afford to drop down, otherwise Basilisk are going to be on absolute sudden death mode, and that ain't easy to play out from, not against a team like Onside. And Roaches, missiles, Roach speed. I mean, the thing is, like I say, nothing happened in the end. Serral never attacked, right? So now Solar building up a bunch of units. What if he just attacks with +1? He stopped droning at 52, so Serral actually went back into a ton of drones. Now Solar's going to stop drone. He's just going to send a +1 missile Roach speed attack. And Serral's building a Spire as well. I don't think there's any reason for Solar not to attack. Not when he's kind of realized that his opponent's probably in a weird position and he's put himself in a tough spot. I think Solar's going to send this, and then Serral is going to have to do sometimes what Serral does best. You know, somewhat of a miraculous defense in ZvZ. He pulls them off a lot of the time. Is today going to be one of those days, or is this going to be a massive swing in momentum in favor of Onside Gaming? Could just be. So it's going to start moving. The upgrade is about to be done. Roach speed is already done. So these Roaches go marching across the map. They look to make their play. They look to make their impact on this grand final. If Serral falls 2-0 to Solar, this puts Onside into a fantastic position. Solar's up 30 army supplies. He comes up this ramp. No defensive for Serral. He does not have Roach speed, so his Roaches cannot back away from this fight. With a single Baneling will do nothing. That is not a fight you can magic your way out of as Serral. There's no micro potential. There's no Ravagers. Because you have no Roach speed, you don't have any Ravagers. You have nothing to do. GG's. So in the top left-hand corner, our blue Zerg player from Basilisk. This, in a must-win situation, is Raynor. In the bottom right, our red Zerg, also from Onside Gaming then, is Solar. Let's see if he can close it out for the team. Of course, these two were teammates in the Grand Finals last season. Oh no, they were not teammates last season. Wait, when did... was Solar and Reno ever on Kaizi at the same time? Or am I crazy? Yes. So yeah, in the playoffs, not last season, but the season before last season, so basically like summer last year, Solar and Reno played in the semi-finals on the same team in Kaizi Gaming. Reno got 2-0'd by Creator to get knocked out. And Reno was never really clutch in the World Team League, regular season or in the playoffs. It's never really been his tournament. He got 2-0'd by Cure, and he got 3-0'd by Cure in the Grand Finals last season. That was the reason Kaizi Gaming lost. He was pretty good. He was okay before. And he actually got 2-0'd by Solar. Yeah, because Onside were actually a team last season. Kaizi did beat Onside. Reno beat Maru. But then Reno lost to Solar. So there's some stats for you. I'm just throwing around Team League seasons and results. Kind of crazy for Solar, by the way, as well, though, because that must mean that Serral is something like 33-3. 2 of his map wins in this entire... 2 of his map losses in this entire season, Solar. That's kind of bonkers, right? Kind of bonkers. Hatch gas pool coming up, a drone on the way. As we have a couple queens coming out here on Dragon Scales, just discussing, like I say, a few things of the past and some fun bits and pieces as we get this one started up. Just want to say, just in case, this is the potential for it to be the last game of the day, guys. So just in case, because people listen to me at the start of games instead of when the game ends. Just like to say thank you, obviously, for joining us and for being awesome and watching some games, even if these were already played over the weekend. Just kind of doing some filler this week. Next week, Masters Coliseum every single day. We're going to have loads of StarCraft 2 for you guys. And even on Sunday, we're going to have the WardiTV Open Cup monthly for August, $1,000 on the line. It's just loads happening, loads going on. So, yeah. Very exciting stuff. Make sure you follow the channel if you don't already. See me live with more StarCraft 2. We're also like 230 followers away from 100,000. We're so close to that, so... follow if you want to, and also if you really enjoy the stream, do consider subscribing, donating, sharing. It's been a pretty quiet few days coming back in terms of the sub count and stuff, but just a little reminder that that option is there if you guys enjoy the content and would like to support. Feelings come through, they're going to nibble at this hatchery. Roachroar Baneness coming up already from Solar. Is he just going to get aggressive? Roachroar so quickly definitely suggests he's just going to save up his gas, build a crap ton of roaches, and just try and send it here early against Reno. Yo, KSTL88, thanks so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. Couple Banes are morphing in on that left-hand side. As Solar gets a couple ready to go. But like I say, it's really going to be about this Roachroar, I think. This Bane goes down. Couple of Banes coming through. That Bane going to turn around and grab a little kill as well. And it's going to fire up a little bit of a storm. Another Baneling going to get cancelled, as we do just see, again, all these roaches coming out. Solar going to take this shorter map as an opportunity to mix up what he's been doing and now go super aggressive with these roaches. And he is going to send it here in the next few moments. Reno's own Roachroar is only just starting, but he's also starting drones. He doesn't know what's going on. He has no idea what's about to hit him square in the face, quite frankly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is actually really not good for Reno. It looks like he is in a lot of bother. And Solar. Wow, yeah, Reno's immediately now going to start up some spines. He's going to evacuate the third where he's starting a spine as well. Well. Feeling setting up. A few roaches are going to move forward. And we are going to see these few queens to start fighting. I think Solar's just going to see the right-hand side. See there's nothing on the third base. He knows he doesn't want to fight there. So he's going to commit up this ramp instead into the natural. The spines here are not going to get to come alive. Will they be cancelled even for Reno? No, they all die. The Banelings trying to use themselves up on both sides. But, well, Solar just has a lot of stuff still. Here are the roaches of Reno. Can they be enough? Last-second defense. Can they do it? As Reno will have one spine crawler coming from the low ground. Come and try and break through. Is that going to make the difference as Solar... Oh, it's not going to burrow! He tried to burrow on top of the roaches! Uh-oh, a few Lings just showed up as well, so Solar has a little bit more momentum on this side. Now he's going to go and catch a couple other roaches, avoid the Spine Crawler, just picking off reinforcements. Solar maintaining a little bit of a lead right now when it comes to the numbers. In army supply, that Spinecrawler gets one shot off, but the Ling Flood might be a little bit too much right now because the Roaches of Raynor are not tanky enough on their own accord, and it looks as though Solar is kind of doing it right now. He's going to back up down the ramp, couple Banelings there defensively. He will go for the third hatch. He's still making units. He's still just committing. Well, Raynor, oh my goodness, so many low HP drones there in the natural as well. Now Solar will actually drone up himself a little bit and just say, cool, I have a third base and you do not. Let's drone from here and see what we can do. Spine shot going to get rid of a couple more Lings. Solar just going to kind of control the low ground for a little bit. Is he going to try up here one more time? He's going to try and send his Banes up and just find a little bit of value perhaps, but I don't think he necessarily even needs to. If he just drones and sort of goes for a little bit, I mean, this is why you don't really need to, because running up this ramp into Banes means a lot of his Lings go down, so that's obviously going to make this a little bit scarier. Which is just pulling back a little bit. We do see how Lair on the way up, 5 more drones in production. I will start from Solar. That's going to be a little bit behind, but the game in general will settle at least for a few moments. I think Solar gave away a lot of units he didn't have to. Like, running up that ramp, he just lost so many Blings to Banes. That was really unnecessary. That's the one thing he absolutely did not need to do throughout that. Solar still has a little bit of a worker lead. Army supplies staying fairly similar for the moment. As Roaches and Banes gather up at the front, we are going to be seeing the Lair and the Extractors coming up. Solar might just say, hey, I feel like I've got a bit of a lead. What if I go Mutas? Can you do anything about that? You could just start Roach Speed as well. Just play Roaches. I have an addiction to predicting that Solar's going to go Mutas, man. I feel like he's going to do it every single time. He is a very Muta-heavy player, to be fair. It's not based off of nothing, this assumption. Solar just lost 6 drones though, so Raynor getting a little bit of damage done and staying in this game, keeping his cool in a high-stress situation. His team's season flies on his shoulders right now. Thumbs down to this. Raynor must win this map, and then the next, to keep this series alive for his team. Missile upgrade on both sides, Roach Speed starting up on both sides. Spires on the way from Solar, and a few more drones, and all the rest still poking through as well. Link will just go grab a cheeky little kill there. This Queen gonna go nab at an Overseer for a few moments as well, as we do take a 4th base of Solar. He is indeed going Spire, so he's just gonna try and go and set up into those Mutas for the moment. Roaches, Ravages, building up right here. Actually take a little bit of a fight. Raynor trying to attack, but Solar has enough to defend, so I don't think Raynor's going to gain much from this. Problem is, then you're attacking into this, you're not going to do well, and then Solar's also going to be able to go into Mutas. He's already started up 4 of them. Maybe it's not the 7 or 8 that he wants to start up immediately, but he will start to build up those extra Mutas very, very soon. There we go, 7 of them on the way out right now. They're just going to pop out of this natural expansion. Another few just going to go gather up in the center. Plus 2 missiles on the way on both sides. The Carapace coming up from Raynor. Hydralisk Den also being brought into play. He needs something to defend these Mutas. The Mutas are not going to chill out. Okay, one Muta's going to go chill out and hit this Overlord. I was going to say they might just go straight across the map because Raynor's not prepared for it. I'm just going to find a couple of Overlords as they go, so they're going to stop for those. Maybe Raynor will get a bit more preparation time. He's just going to start sending the Roaches. He knows he needs to do more. He knows he needs more prep time, so he's going to send the Roaches forward, take a few Muta shots, and he's going to send them back. And again, just needs time to finish up his Spore Crawlers. As you see the Mutas here, going to go jumping onto, again, whatever they can find. And now, obviously, Solar can bring his own Roaches across the map and use these to fight a little bit as well. It's going to be another part of the problem for Raynor in these next few moments. It's not getting any easier for him here. He's going to jump onto that spawning pool. Thank you, by the way, Ascalon. 43-month resub. Appreciate it, dude. As Solar might be about to win this tournament for Onside Gaming. Looking to make them World Team League champions here in the summer of 2023. First time we're going to see a non-DPG winner for a few seasons. As Roaches and Ravagers come down this ramp, a couple of Biles going to force the units to split away. That's exactly what they will do. The Spine Crawler trying to help defend here for Raynor, but Solar just has so much. Roach, Ravager, Mutas are going to fly in overhead to help out as well. Why not? Bring any DPS you can. Raynor shaking his head as he does not have enough. He does not have the way to save the series. Solar is dancing on the camera as well, as he is going to be the MVP of this, because he is going to 2-0 Serral, 1-0 Raynor, and he is going to win the World Team League for Onside Gaming. GG's. Solar crowns Onside champions of